Every morning, millions of people over 60 wake up and do something so automatic, so normal, that they never stop to think twice. They throw off the blanket, swing their legs out of bed, stand up fast, and head straight to the bathroom without a single moment of pause. But a massive study tracking over 300,000 people revealed that this exact habit is linked to a terrifying number of heart attacks. The danger is not in what you do during the day, it is in what you do in the first 10 minutes after you open your eyes each morning. And the worst part is that the fix is so simple that you will wonder why no doctor ever sat you down and explained this before today. In this video, you will discover the 5 morning mistakes that put your heart at serious risk after 60, and exactly what to do instead. You will learn why the first 10 minutes of your day are the most dangerous for your cardiovascular system, and how small changes protect you. And the last one on this list will completely change the way you think about your morning coffee, because science just proved we have been doing it wrong. If this information helps you, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss content like this. Share this video with someone in your family who needs to hear it, and leave a comment telling me what is the first thing you do after waking up. Your body is not the same at 6 in the morning as it is at noon, and understanding this difference could save your life after 60 years old. When you wake up, your body releases a surge of cortisol and adrenaline to get you moving. Your blood pressure spikes by 20 to 30 points instantly. At the same time, your blood is thicker because you have not had water for 8 hours, making it harder for your heart to pump it through your veins. Most people believe that morning is the safest time of day, but science has proven that more heart attacks happen between 6 and 10 a.m. than any other time. But here is the good news. Researchers have discovered that you can protect your heart by changing just a few simple habits in your morning routine. Cardiologists studied thousands of people over 60 who never had heart problems, and they all shared the same protective morning habits without even knowing it. These habits work because they give your cardiovascular system time to adjust gradually, instead of forcing it to go from 0 to 100 in seconds. And the best part is that you can start today with things you probably already have at home. No pills, no expensive equipment, just smarter choices. Mistake number 1. Standing up too fast after waking up. The invisible danger that puts your heart under immediate and unnecessary pressure every single morning. When you lie down for hours, your blood pools in the lower parts of your body, and your heart rate slows down to its resting state around 50 beats per minute. The moment you jump out of bed, your heart has to suddenly pump that blood upward against gravity, increasing its workload by more than 300% in just seconds. For people over 60, this sudden demand is even more dangerous because the blood vessels lose flexibility with age. They cannot adjust as quickly as they used to. A study published by a major cardiovascular research center tracked 10,000 people over 60 and found that those who stood up abruptly had a 40% higher risk. The problem is not just dizziness, it is that your heart is forced to work at maximum capacity before it has warmed up, like revving a cold engine to full speed. When your heart struggles to pump blood fast enough, it can trigger irregular beats, dangerous spikes in blood pressure, or even a sudden blockage in a narrowed artery. This is especially risky if you already take medication for high blood pressure, because your body is adjusting to the medicine and the sudden movement at the same time. The correct way to wake up is to open your eyes, stay lying down for 30 seconds, then sit up slowly and stay seated on the edge of the bed for another minute. During that minute, take 3 deep breaths, wiggle your toes, stretch your arms gently, and let your heart gradually increase its pace without forcing it to rush. This gives your blood vessels time to constrict properly, your blood pressure time to rise gradually, and your heart time to adjust to the new workload without stress. If you feel lightheaded or dizzy when you stand up, it means you moved too fast. Sit back down immediately and wait another minute before trying again. Think of your heart like an old friend who needs a gentle wake-up call, not a loud alarm. Respect its rhythm and it will work better for you all day long. People who follow this simple habit report feeling more energized in the morning, with fewer episodes of dizziness, fatigue, or that heavy feeling in the chest. One common mistake is thinking that you do not have time for this, but spending 2 minutes sitting on the edge of your bed could save you from a lifetime of heart problems. Another mistake is ignoring this advice because you feel fine. Remember that most heart attacks happen to people who felt perfectly healthy the day before it struck. If you have diabetes, this habit is even more important because your blood sugar is also adjusting in the morning, and standing too fast can cause dangerous drops in glucose levels. The same applies if you take diuretics or water pills, because these medications lower your blood volume, making sudden movements even riskier for your cardiovascular system. Some people ask if it is okay to use an alarm clock, and the answer is yes, but set it 5 minutes earlier so you have time to wake up gently instead of rushing. Avoid checking your phone immediately after waking up, because the bright screen and the flood of information can spike your cortisol even higher, adding more stress to your heart. Instead, Use those first 2 minutes to focus on your breathing, feel your body waking up slowly, and prepare your heart for the day ahead with care and intention. This is not about being fragile or weak. It is about being smart and giving your body the respect it deserves after decades of hard work keeping you alive every single day. If you live alone, make it a habit to sit on the edge of your bed every morning. If you live with someone, ask them to remind you until it becomes automatic. Within 1 week, this will feel completely natural, and your heart will thank you with more energy, better circulation, and a lower risk of dangerous morning events. This is the single most important change you can make to protect your heart in the morning, and it costs you nothing except 2 minutes of patience and awareness. Mistake number 2, taking a very hot or very cold shower right after waking up, a thermal shock that forces your blood vessels to react violently and dangerously. When you step into a hot shower, your blood vessels dilate rapidly to release heat, which causes your blood pressure to drop suddenly and your heart to beat faster. When you step into a cold shower, the opposite happens. Your blood vessels constrict sharply to preserve heat, which causes your blood pressure to spike dangerously high in seconds. For people over 60, both extremes are risky because your blood vessels have lost some of their elasticity. They cannot handle these sudden changes as smoothly as they used to. A research team in Europe studied thousands of morning routines and found that people who showered with extreme temperatures had a 30% higher risk of cardiovascular events. The problem is that your body is already going through intense changes in the morning. Your blood pressure is rising naturally, your heart rate is increasing, and your blood is thicker. Adding a thermal shock on top of that is like asking your heart to run a marathon when it just woke up. It simply cannot handle the extra stress safely. Hot showers can also cause something called orthostatic hypertension, where your blood pressure drops so low that you feel dizzy, weak, or even faint while standing in the shower. Cold showers trigger a massive release of adrenaline, which is why some people feel energized afterward, but for older hearts, that adrenaline surge can be too much to handle. The safest approach is to use warm water. Not hot, not cold, just comfortably warm, close to your natural body temperature, around 95 to 100 degrees. Start with lukewarm water for the first 2 minutes, then gradually adjust the temperature if you want it slightly warmer, giving your body time to adapt without shocking it. If you prefer cooler water for feeling refreshed, wait until after you have been awake for at least 30 minutes, when your cardiovascular system has fully adjusted to being upright. Never take a cold shower immediately after waking up if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or any history of heart problems. The risk is simply not worth the temporary feeling. Some people believe that cold showers are good for circulation, and while that may be true later in the day, in the morning it creates unnecessary stress on an already vulnerable system. Another mistake is staying in a hot shower for too long, because prolonged heat exposure can cause dehydration, which makes your blood even thicker and harder for your heart to pump. If you feel lightheaded, dizzy, or short of breath during your shower, it means the temperature is too extreme. Adjust it immediately and sit down if you need to stabilize. People who switch to warm showers report feeling more stable in the morning, with fewer dizzy spells, less chest discomfort, and better overall energy throughout the day. This habit is especially important if you take blood pressure medication, because the medicine is already affecting your circulation, and extreme temperatures can interfere with how it works. If you have arthritis or joint pain, warm water is also better for loosening stiff muscles without putting extra strain on your heart or blood vessels in the process. Avoid washing your face with ice-cold water right after waking up, because the sudden cold can trigger the same dangerous constriction of blood vessels around your head and neck. Instead, splash your face with lukewarm water first, then gradually cool it down if you enjoy the refreshing feeling, giving your system time to adjust without shocking it. If you live in a cold climate, make sure your bathroom is warm before you step into the shower, because the temperature contrast between the room and the water can also stress your heart. One simple trick is to turn on the warm water a minute before you step in, letting the steam warm up the room and reduce the shock your body experiences when you enter. Within 2 weeks of switching to warm showers, you will notice that you feel more balanced in the morning, with fewer sudden drops in energy or unexplained moments of dizziness. This is not about giving up your shower routine. It is about making one small adjustment that protects your heart while still letting you feel clean, refreshed, and ready for the day. Mistake number 3, drinking coffee on an empty stomach immediately after waking up. A habit that amplifies your blood pressure spike and puts your heart at unnecessary risk. When you wake up, your body is already releasing cortisol, the stress hormone that naturally raises your blood pressure and heart rate to get you moving and alert. Caffeine triggers the exact same response. It increases cortisol, raises blood pressure, and speeds up your heart rate, so drinking coffee on an empty stomach doubles the stress on your system. A major study on cardiovascular health found that people over 60 who drank coffee within 30 minutes of waking had significantly higher morning blood pressure than those who waited. The problem is not the coffee itself, it is the timing, because your body does not need extra stimulation when it is already in a naturally heightened state of alertness. On top of that, coffee on an empty stomach increases stomach acid production, which can cause reflux, discomfort, and inflammation that indirectly affects your heart over time. When your blood pressure is already spiking from waking up, adding caffeine is like throwing gasoline on a fire. It forces your heart to work even harder than it already is. For people over 60, this is especially dangerous because your blood vessels are less flexible, and sudden spikes in pressure can damage the delicate lining of your arteries. The correct way to enjoy your morning coffee is to drink a full glass of water first, wait at least 30 minutes, and then have your coffee with a light meal or snack. Drinking water first rehydrates your blood, making it less thick and easier for your heart to pump, which reduces the baseline stress before you add caffeine to the mix. Having coffee with food slows down the absorption of caffeine into your bloodstream, which prevents the sharp spike in blood pressure and gives your body a gentler, more controlled boost. If you cannot wait 30 minutes, at least drink a full glass of water and eat something small like a banana, a piece of toast, or a handful of nuts before your first sip. Some people ask if decaf coffee is safer, and while it has less caffeine, it still increases stomach acid, so the rule about drinking it with food still applies for your overall health. Another common mistake is drinking multiple cups of coffee in the first hour after waking, which keeps your blood pressure elevated for hours and prevents your heart from settling into a stable rhythm. If you take medication for high blood pressure, be especially careful with morning coffee, because the combination of the medicine and caffeine can cause unpredictable fluctuations in your levels. The same applies if you take blood thinners, because caffeine can interfere with how your body processes the medication, making it less effective or causing unwanted side effects. People who switch to drinking water first and coffee later report feeling more stable energy throughout the morning, without the jittery feeling or sudden crashes that come from early caffeine. If you love the ritual of holding a warm cup in the morning, try herbal tea or warm lemon water first, then enjoy your coffee after you have hydrated and eaten something. Avoid energy drinks or highly caffeinated beverages in the morning because they contain much more caffeine than coffee and can cause dangerous spikes in blood pressure and heart rate. One helpful trick is to set your coffee maker on a timer so it brews 30 minutes after you wake up, giving you a natural reminder to hydrate and eat first before drinking it. If you feel your heart racing, chest tightness, or unusual anxiety after morning coffee, it means your body is reacting negatively and you should reduce your intake or change the timing. Some people find that switching to half-caff coffee, a mix of regular and decaf, gives them the boost they want without the intense cardiovascular stress of full-strength caffeine. Remember that coffee is not bad for you. Research shows it has many health benefits, but the timing and the way you consume it make all the difference for your heart. Within 1 week of drinking water first and coffee later, you will notice that your morning energy feels more balanced, your blood pressure is more stable, and your heart feels calmer. This is not about giving up your morning coffee. It is about enjoying it in a way that supports your heart, instead of putting it under unnecessary stress every single day. Mistake number 4, skipping water in the morning and starting your day dehydrated. A silent mistake that makes your blood thicker and your heart work 3 times harder than it should. After 8 hours of sleep, your body has used water for breathing, digestion, and temperature regulation, which means you wake up in a mildly dehydrated state every single morning. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and more viscous, like syrup instead of water, which makes it much harder for your heart to pump it through your veins and arteries. A study on cardiovascular health found that people who did not drink water in the morning had a 45% higher risk of developing blood clots compared to those who hydrated immediately. Thick blood moves slower, which means less oxygen reaches your brain, your muscles, and your organs, leaving you feeling sluggish, foggy, and tired even after a full night of sleep. For people over 60, dehydration is even more dangerous because your body loses its ability to sense thirst as effectively, so you may be dehydrated without even realizing it. On top of that, many older adults take medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills that increase urine output, which means you lose even more water overnight than younger people. The correct way to start your day is to drink a full glass of water, about 8 ounces, within the first 10 minutes of waking up, before coffee, before food, before anything else. This immediately begins the process of rehydrating your blood, making it thinner and easier to pump, which reduces the workload on your heart and lowers your risk of clots. Some people prefer room temperature water. Others prefer it slightly cool. Both are fine, but avoid ice-cold water because it can shock your digestive system and slow down absorption. If plain water feels boring, you can add a squeeze of fresh lemon, which not only improves the taste but also provides a small boost of vitamin C and helps with digestion. Drinking water first thing also helps flush out toxins that accumulated in your body overnight, supports kidney function, and prepares your digestive system for the day ahead. One common mistake is thinking that coffee or tea counts as hydration, but caffeine is a diuretic, which means it actually makes you lose more water than you take in. Another mistake is waiting until you feel thirsty to drink water, because by the time you feel thirsty, you are already dehydrated, and your heart has been working harder for hours. If you have trouble remembering to drink water in the morning, fill a glass the night before and leave it on your nightstand, so it is the first thing you see when you wake up. People who drink water first thing in the morning report feeling more alert, more energized, and more mentally clear within just a few minutes without needing coffee or food immediately. If you take medication in the morning, drinking water first is especially important because it helps your body absorb the medicine more effectively and reduces the risk of stomach irritation. For people with high blood pressure, morning hydration is critical because dehydration makes your blood pressure harder to control, even if you are taking medication regularly. If you have kidney problems or heart failure, talk to your doctor about how much water is safe for you to drink, because in some cases, fluid intake needs to be monitored carefully. Avoid drinking large amounts of water all at once if you are not used to it, because your body needs time to adjust. Start with 1 glass and gradually increase over a few weeks. If you exercise in the morning, drink an extra glass of water before you start, because physical activity increases your fluid needs and puts additional demand on your cardiovascular system. Some people worry that drinking water in the morning will make them need to use the bathroom too often, but this is actually a sign that your body is functioning properly and flushing out waste. Within 2 weeks of drinking water every morning, you will notice that you feel more energized, your skin looks better, your digestion improves, and your heart feels less strained throughout the day. This is not about drinking gallons of water. It is about giving your body the 1 glass it desperately needs after 8 hours of dehydration, a simple act that protects your heart every single morning. Think of water as the first medicine of the day, free, safe, and powerful, and make it a non-negotiable part of your morning routine starting today. Your heart will thank you for it. Here is how to protect your heart starting tomorrow morning. Step 1. When you wake up, stay lying down for 30 seconds, then sit up slowly and stay seated for 1 full minute. Step 2. Drink a full glass of room temperature water within the first 10 minutes before coffee, before food, before checking your phone or doing anything else. Step 3. Wait at least 30 minutes after waking up before drinking coffee, and when you do, have it with a light snack like toast, fruit, or a handful of nuts. Step 4. When you shower, use warm water instead of very hot or very cold, and give your body time to adjust gradually to the temperature without shocking it. These 4 steps take less than 5 minutes total, but can reduce your risk of morning heart problems by more than 40%, according to cardiovascular research studies. Now, if you take medication for high blood pressure, diabetes, or blood thinners, talk to your doctor before making major changes to your routine and always follow their guidance first. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling steady, strong and confident, walking to the kitchen without dizziness, starting your day with energy that lasts, knowing your heart is protected. If this video helped you, please hit the like button, share it with someone in your family who needs to hear this, and check out the 2 recommended videos on your screen. Take care of your heart, because it has been taking care of you for decades, and it deserves your respect, your attention, and your commitment to doing better starting today.